In this video, we're going to be sharing with you how to hit all your milestones when it comes to selling digital product so you can make consistent 20K months. If you're new to my space, welcome. It's your girl Sherry Summer Bell. I teach you how to craft your mini course so you can use the power of sales psychology and make consistent cash flow without sacrificing your time using just digital products. Now, the reason why I want to share this with you is because no one shared this with me. I was under the impression that when I started selling low ticket, moving from high ticket, that I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to go provide my signature or my expertise into a mini course. I'm going to sell it and boom, that will be it. I'm going to make a lot of money. But that was not the case because truth of the matter is there are different milestones that you have to hit when you are selling digital products and want it to be profitable. Unlike selling high ticket, which is where I first started off, I sold $500,000 in using one offer, one signature offer using challenges. And when you're thinking about selling one to many, with the only thing you're really focused on is that one conversion, and that conversion could be a masterclass, a challenge, or a live event. Whatever that conversion is, you're only thinking about that conversion and make sure you hit that milestones and get that milestone right. But understand that low ticket digital product that you make, not I'm not talking about product that you're selling for other people or element. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about your product that provides your expertise from your framework, from your results. Okay, where what they did not explain, and I did not see a video on this, so I'm creating it, is there's different milestones that you have to really hit and master to really get your your low ticket product going. So I'm going to share my screen with you so we can get into what milestone look like for you. So the first thing is, your first milestone that you have to understand is, number one, is where your what is the problem that you're solving, the hyper specific problem that you're solving. What is that? What is the solution that you have to that problem? So what is the problem that you're solving? That's number one, your hyper specific problem. So that's a milestone in it. Once you figure out that milestone, check, you're good. Now, number two, after you figure out that milestone, you have to figure out how you're going to deliver the solution to that problem. How are you going to deliver the solution to the problem that you say you solve? Are you going to do a mini course? Are you going to be a PDF? What is the product itself will look like that you would deliver that solution to that problem? All right, number three. Now that you have that solution, the next thing is you're going to ask yourself, okay, how am I going to deliver this? Am I going to deliver this on a sales page, which if it's new people, cold audience who doesn't know you, you will need a sales page to deliver that to. Okay, so you got your problem, you got your solution, you got your sales page. Now, what? Now that's boom. We can stop there, right? And if you want, a sales page also has your checkout page, because that's where you take the money. Your problem, your solution, which is your product, and then you have your product. You put it on a sales page. You're done, right? That's the first milestone. When you drive traffic to that sales page, people pay you money in exchange. You get money. So you're done. Now, if the product is a $27 product, it's going to take a lot of driving. It's going to take a lot of sales to really make that $27 profitable, right? So the goal, though, is you have to master this milestone. You have to be able to master this first, no matter what. So that's milestone number one. So milestone number two now is, okay, instead of me trying to drive traffic and get all of this type of sale, because it's going to take me so much sale, why not, instead of looking at driving traffic and driving leads, or about driving more leads for my buyers, why not really focus on increasing and multiplying my sales. And that's milestone number 2. So when you talk about multiplying your sales, that's where after they have said yes to your offer, you may have number 1 in this milestone, an upsell. You may have an upsell. So, and or if they say, no, I don't want this, is too expensive, you may downsell them to something else. So let's say this item here is $200, and they said, no, I don't want that. And you say, hey, you get a PDF and you get a course with this item. And they said, no, I don't want that. You can downsell them and say, hey, I'm going to take out a PDF, but you still get the course. And now you get it for $100. So that's what downsell is. And that's an option. So you can upsell them, you can downsell them, but this is what we call in this manner, or you can just cross sell them by giving them another upsell that's completely different from the original upsell. So this right here is what we call your AOV. Average, you're increasing your average order value. So you're turning that $17 product, and if this is $200, now you add 200, add in that with your $27 product. If the person said yes, now you add $227, right? From one person, opposed to trying to drive traffic to all of this. So your milestone number 2 now is your trying to increase your AOV, so you may have less traffic, but you have more people buying your AOV. And if more people is buying your AOV, which is what you should be, the milestone you should be aiming for, in my opinion, not more traffic, because a milestone where the people are getting your AOV are more, they understand the mission more, right? They're scaling up with you. They want more of what you have to offer. And that's one milestone that you really want to focus on. And then milestone number 3 is, what are you selling in the back end of that? So in the back end, you may have a high ticket thing that you're selling, whether it's a course, like a mastermind. That's what I mean. A mastermind, like a hybrid mastermind that has a course with it, and that you guys meet on Zoom together. Or you may have a membership, which is what we have in our program, is a membership. Or you may have one-on-one, right? So that's the back end. So whatever your course, your mastermind may be, maybe it's $25,000. Let's say you have a mastermind. Let me just say a mastermind, because your mastermind may have a course inside of it. Now the person gets your upsell and they get your mastermind. So now we're moving from that. We're moving from that $27 item, and now we add $2,727, right? $2,727. That's the total from them getting your $17, your $27 offer, to your AOV, which is your upsell, and then to your back end. All right, now that you kind of know the flow, what I want you to focus on here is, when you start digital product, this is what I'm saying about the milestones. Each one of these milestones each one of these is what I'm calling a milestone. So when you start off, your goal, my first goal, when we start off, it was just to see how much traffic we can get to ours with $17, to our $17 offer. Then in the next phase, which is this would be, if we're talking about phases, this in phase 2, my focus now is, how can I increase the AOV? How can I make my upsell a little bit better? How can my messaging, that's why I focus so much on sales psychology and messaging. How can I make my messaging on my upsell better, for the person to see, like, hey, you got the buyer rated messaging matrix, but you need to know what to put on that sales page. So how do I make which is my upsell? So your job, if you're trying to master all 3 of these upsells, it will be a bit difficult. right? Because the data is what tell you what's working and what's not. Not often does someone launch a product for the first time in a low ticket space and they get all of this right all of a sudden. So your goal right now, based on where you are, maybe is to figure out what milestone are you trying to perfect. So if your AOV is working, and because sometimes you may have to switch out the upsell in that milestone in phase two, and to find out, okay, so it seems like 30 people went through my upsell and they didn't take my upsell. So maybe I need to change it. Maybe I need to change a word. Maybe it's the language of what I say. So you kind of play with the data a little bit to figure out if it's working or not. And then when you see that profitability, like, okay, now they're taking it, because the goal is not, in my opinion, if you're looking to scale and make 20K months, your goal is not ever to just have a whole bunch of traffic of people coming in for your $17 product. Your goal is to have the right clients who are willing to multiply your sales to keep coming in. That's one of the things that we're big at, is in teaching our clients how to get that multiple sales on repeat, opposed to just getting that one original sale. So your idea in your head, if you choose to accept it and really want to make this digital product space where you're putting your expertise on different product, if this is what you choose to do, I would highly recommend you pick a milestone to master and go in order of what I have here. Why is this so important? Because I was under the impression that I was just I could do it in one go. No. No. Because when you launch a new product, your first thing is just to see if anybody wants it, right? And if somebody say, yes, I want it, I want that product, great. Great. So that means milestone number one is checked off. You're getting sales. Sales are coming in. Now it's like, okay, but are they taking the second offer after that milestone? Are they taking the second one? Are they taking my upsell? How am I increasing my average order value? Because I rather have people increase their average order value, which will require me to have less. Because the average order value, the good news of that, it covers your ads. It can help you to break even. And if it does that, and maybe even to make a profit. And if it does these great things, that means the lead that you got is technically free. And if that lead decide to go to your back end and take the next thing, that means you got a free lead that paid for your back end. You didn't pay anything for that lead, right? And that's the whole goal. That's our milestone. Those are the things that we want to do. But I want you, before I hop off here, because I want you to get this, and if you have any questions below, because no one taught me this at all. So I'm going teaching the things that no one taught me when I was launching my first digital product, my low ticket digital products. Do not attempt to hit all of these milestones at the same time. Do not attempt, because your data, if let's say they did get in phase one or in milestone number one, they got you have sales coming and you're doing good, right? Then you get here and they're not taking your upsell. That should be an indication like, hey, maybe I need to change upsell, or maybe I just need to change the messaging of what the messaging is saying on the upsell. And so I need to work on that. I cannot move from this milestone here until I see an increase in my average order value. So it doesn't matter what I make what I make up in the back end. If this is not working for me and I decide to run ads, I am not going to break it even in Uncle Sam and Meta. It's just eating up my money. And you don't want that. So your whole goal when you're launching digital product is your goal is to really focus first on milestone number 2 after you have validated milestone number 1. After you validated milestone number 1, your goal is to go on to milestone number 2, and that should be your goal. I would rather have less traffic, but more high value clients coming in to my back end offer. So let's say you have, do a different color. Let's say you have, this is your website here. Words on your website. And let's say 10 people, these are your people, they come through your website, right, to go to your upsell. And out of the 10, we're going to say 2 people right here took your upsell. 2 people. And again, let's say the upsell is still at $200. So out of the 10 people, only 2 people took it. So you can see that just having those 2 people, that is an equal of 400 people, $400, because there's 2 people that took it. 2 times 2 is 4. So $400 right there. That give you $400 plus the $27 product that they took prior to getting to that spot. So you can see how you have increased your order value and got a free lead and also pay for Meta at the same time. So that's why you have to spend your energy working on figuring out your average order value before you do anything else. Your average order value, again, is all the upsells or downsales or cross sales that you do on the back of your existing low ticket offer. So that was so important to me, because I'm like, oh, I can just do all of this in one go. And then I realized, oh, I had the sales coming in, but my average order value was not there. So then that means Meta is taking all my money. So then the next thing is, now when you see your average order value, like people are really taking your average order value because they realize it makes sense to take both of them together, right? Because they go together. Then you can say, okay, now let me create what my back end offer needs to be, right? Because if they're not taking the front end, you coming up with a back end is a bit premature, because what if you have to change what the back end is? And the only reason you know what to change what the back end is, sometimes your average order value, what your upsell is based on related to the back end, because everything's supposed to kind of have the same thing, the same dance, the same apples to apples. So if you bought the PDF, you may say, hey, I want a course with that. And with that course, you also get a membership. And the membership could be your back end, right? So you see how that dance is? But if they're not taking the course, they may want the membership in the middle, and it could be. So the idea here is you have to make sure that you don't skip a milestone you don't skip a milestone, because if you skip working on increasing your average order value, making sure it convert higher, that's the whole goal. We're trying to make sure we are increasing this at all time. So your ad spend can be less. That's the whole goal. You don't want to have to pay for any ads. And even if you're break even, that's great, but you really want to be honest with you, to be making a profit. So by the time the person get to your email list or get to your space or get to your world, the back end, really honestly, the back end can always be your LTV, low lifetime value of that client, because they could went through your average order value buy and then sit on your email list and then said, hey, in 90 days, I'm going to buy again. And let's say take them 90 days to buy again. That's okay, because you got them for free. Technically, you got them for free. You didn't have to pay anything for them, right? So again, start working on your phases. That's your homework. If you're new, your phase number 1 in your milestone should be just seeing if people will purchase that particular low ticket offer. When you complete that, phase number 2 will be like, okay, how can I increase the conversion of my average order value? And then phase number 3, okay, how can I convert my lifetime value of the client a little bit faster? Those are different steps that needs attention at different time as you check off the box inside of your space. When you do that, then you will see your offer, the ecosystem of making 20K per month consistently. That's what it requires. If you miss any of these steps, what happened is now you're in the negative. Yes, you acquired a client, but you're in the negative with your ads because you paid too much and all this other stuff. But if you follow what I just say in trying to hit each milestone in its order, that means you now have a framework of how to create consistent sales in your business when it comes to selling your low ticket item. All right, so as we head out, go ahead and oh, okay, that was down there. I didn't know if you could see it. Okay, as we head out, go ahead and comment below if you have any questions. I'll make sure I answer all your questions that you have below. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can be notified anytime I come online. It's your girl, Sherry Summer Bell. Talk to you later.